So this is take two. I rarely ever do double takes on videos, but I felt like I had to do this one over. Um, I guess there's three main things I want to talk about, and the first one being is I've been trying to find a new home for Spiralvent.ca, my atheist company. I don't know how else to describe it. I just keep calling it a company, and I think somewhere in there's a business model that needs to be built up, and I'm slowly discovering it. I should be taking more notes, but I've noticed that there are sometimes these unique angles in terms of what I want to say kind of pop up and kind of make themselves known, but I never really write them down in detail. So I just kind of muddle my way through and talk until the points kind of show up again, and I think, interesting point, I should write that down. So there should be a business model. These days business models are very difficult to come by because business models are so passé, and they're so just built into platforms like Facebook and other social media platforms that it's almost like the business model is built for you, and you just have to fill in content. So I'm not saying that's how it is, but that's how it definitely feels a lot of times with me. It feels like I just have these platforms and I just dump material in there. I just search the news and post articles and comments on them. But I do believe I have this. I do believe I have some insight when it comes to atheism, and when it comes to what my opinions are when it comes to politics and secularism and atheism and international affairs. I try to stay away from the war stuff. I don't feel like I know enough yet to start making claims about military intervention, militaristic intervention, or calling for military intervention when it comes to various terrorist groups and various governments, etc., etc. The point being is I don't feel like I know enough yet to be calling or inferring that there should be violence committed in whatever form. I will condemn genocide as being carried out by ISIS and over the Yazidis. I think that's just a horrible thing that's happening. But that's kind of straying from what I generally wanted to say. I've been looking at different content management systems. I think I said that, but I've been looking at WordPress specifically after looking into Joomla and even considering SharePoint, which SharePoint's been haunting me like bad fish for the past 10 years. So I should really give it up. It's just not a system it's too robust. There are too many features, and as much as I'd love to play around with features, it's like a Microsoft playground, SharePoint, and then there's Azure and all these Azure or however they pronounce it, and it's just too much. It's too much. I mean, with all these calendars and interoperability with other Microsoft products, like, I mean, why do I need all of that? Like, why do I need my atheist calendar being downloaded to my Microsoft Outlook email client? Like, I mean, it's cool that everything can sync up that way, but why do I need my website syncing with my personal life? Anyway, it feels like a bit much. So I think I'm going to stick with WordPress, and when it comes to template selections out there, there aren't very many. You have to pay if you want true control, full control over the aesthetics and the various functions with the WordPress templates. Until then, you kind of have to settle for the free versions, which don't offer a lot in terms of customization. Instead of offering a lot, you just have a lot of different free versions with offering various different customizable items, so I'm going to stick with WordPress. I mean, it suits me fine right now, and Spiralvent.ca is still up in terms of using the old WordPress template and having the old ocean aesthetic, and so Spiralvent.ca is not down. It's still up. It's running along with my YouTube channel and the Facebook page. So that's still going. All of that stuff is still going, and I don't feel a rush to change anything really quickly. Although yesterday I had this kind of design marathon where I was experimenting with different templates, but came to no real conclusion. I installed Joomla last night too, and Joomla looks a little bit too bulky and kind of cumbersome. I'll play around with it some more today, but I don't think I'm going to end up using Joomla. I think it's WordPress I'm going to stick with. Who knows, maybe I will find $70 to dish out to buy a fully functional template, WordPress template that I can really change up and shift around and make everything nice. Anyway, so the I don't know if this is the third topic or the second topic I'm talking about. Maybe the first and the second topic kind of merged together and changed into whatever it was. But anyway, the second thing I want to talk about is while I feel like I'm running thin with the atheist talk, I have lots of books to read. I do keep up with the news, so there's tons of material. It's just that after a while the material all starts sounding exactly the same. Not that it's boring, but you don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over again. But I have noticed in the last little while two pieces of news, or journalism anyway, that were talking specifically about the roots of ISIS-inspired terrorism, or radical Islamic terrorism. And one report was by the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, that really drove it home when it came to understanding the root cause of terrorism being religion. And the other was an interview on The Agenda with Steve Paikin. The interview centered around a book called The Strangers Among Us, I think. The Strangers Among Us, I can't remember, but the name of the author is Graham Wood, and it's posted on the Facebook page in case you're curious. But he also made a very strong case for the root causes of extremism or terrorism being theologically driven motive. So it was interesting seeing people or two interviews being that strongly inclined to say that religion does have a pivotal role in terrorism. Usually you find, and especially under the Obama administration, and Obama himself, you found that a lot of people shied away from saying religion was the root cause of terrorism, etc., etc. And I think for a lot of people, we still need to make distinctions between extremism and moderatism. I still think there are lots of problems with the way people conceptualize religion, and a lot of problems with religion itself. Throughout history, as it's practiced now, its role in government, its role in education. I feel like it's something that needs to be weeded out. And I'm not saying in some sort of violent, extreme way. I'm just saying in a very methodical, very thought out way, as should anything be. We want change, and when do we want it? After peer review, etc., etc. But yeah, so I've been noticing a shift, and maybe these things ebb and flow, and so. But I did notice a stronger inkling for people to definitely point out the religious influence in terrorism, which I think is a good thing. And ISIS is getting beaten back, but as much as that's good news, I don't think that military intervention really does kill extremist ideas. Those things, can still exist. You can't kill ideas with physical force. Anyway, that's my video. I don't want to go on too much, and I will talk to you later. Bye.